Hi again, it's Carlos Tanner from the Ayahuasca Foundation. Thanks again so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed the last 5. We're getting into the second half of this series. So this is episode 6. In the last episode we talked a lot about demonstrating determination through sacrifice, or what you're willing to give up in order to achieve your goals, and how important it is to understand where you are in that regard, so that you know what goals are actually reasonable to achieve or to strive for. I want to keep going with the dieta. It's definitely one of the most important parts of training to become a curandero, and it's certainly a big part of my training. If you were to do one of our courses, we offer 8-week courses, initiation courses, as well as 4-week courses. The dieta is a really big part of that. Those courses that we offer, the dietas are done with 5 plants at the 8-week course and just 1 plant on the 4-week course. Those 5 plants are, of course, Noya Rao. That's the heart of the tradition that we work with at the Ayahuasca Foundation. Noya Rao is an incredible tree. It's hard to describe that tree. It's a bioluminescent tree, so it literally glows in the dark. It is literally enlightened, and it truly is an enlightened being, and it's a remarkable experience to be able to diet that. And so that's what gets dieted on both the 4-week and the 8-week participants of those programs. But there's 4 other plants at the 8-week course that you have the opportunity to diet with. You don't necessarily diet all 5. You probably won't. Those are Chiricsanango and Marusa and Bobansana and Chuyachaki, and Noya Rao would be the 5th. Those diets are epic. Like I said, that's what really makes curanderos is doing plant dietas. And there's so much wonderful gems of insights and lessons through those dietas and through the relationships that you build with those plant spirits. But one very common theme that runs through dietas is the concept of being tested. I was talking about in the last episode, understanding where you stand, who you are, in terms of what you're willing to give up. And sometimes, you're committed to a relationship, but you're not 100%, I guess you could say. And in those times, it's very common that an incident will occur, an event or situation, or your own being will put you in a place where you're, as they would say, tested. You're being tested to see how are you going to react, to see if are you going to push yourself and become fully committed, or are you going to go the other direction and maybe stop or give up. And that is not the most wonderful situation to be in the moment of it. But when you do overcome those obstacles, when you do pass that test, or when you ace that test, it brings you to this new level of determination, this new level of commitment that allows you to go so much further. And so in a way, the test, provided that you pass it, which is really just about your attitude, your willingness to try to push forward, then you move up to a new level. It's actually very, very similar to the way our educational system works, at least the way it did when I was growing up, in the sense that you're taught everything on a current grade level, and then at the end you have a test, or you have a series of tests to demonstrate that you learned what you were supposed to on that level, and then provided you pass, you go on to the next level. Maybe if you ace it incredibly, you even skip a level and go, two levels up. But the point is that you advance, and the test is a way to measure whether you are deserving of that advancement. And that is an analogy that I came up with through my own experiences of being tested And I went both ways. I definitely had a test that I failed, and that messed me up. I wish that I had a better attitude at that point. But again, like, it is what it is. You are what you are, and the best you can do is work with who you are. And of course, you want to try to overcome every test. You want to pass it. You want to ace it. The cool part is that you never get a test that you can't pass. You're never given this test that the universe or the plant spirits, in this case, that it's considered that the plant spirits give you the test. I'm not really sure. I don't think it matters. I think it's much more about what you get out of it than it is who's responsible in the background. But just like in school, you don't give a chemistry test or something to a kindergartner, and you take each grade level, and it has a sequence of tests, and they do get harder and harder, and that provides another really awesome insight, or at least it has for me. How many of us have been in a position where we've had a really difficult time in our life? Something really terrible happened, or something that really pushed us to question maybe the existence of God, because how could you let something like this happen? And maybe just devastated us at whatever point we were at. But for some reason we were able to find the strength. We found a way to get through, to get over that obstacle, and to pass that test. And then we were so much stronger for it. But when you're in the throes of it, in the situation itself, you're shaking your fist saying, why me? That's like the point where it's really helpful to understand this concept of being tested. Because instead of saying, like, why can't my life just be like that person, or why can't my life be good, instead you're like, oh, I must be at a point where I'm ready to advance to a new level. So this is what I've got to deal with. This is the challenge. You roll up your sleeves and let's get to work. I'm going to show you. You're not like shaking your fist anymore. Now you're like, aha, I'll show you. I'll ace this thing. I'm going to get through this. And you know that when you do, you will be at a new level because of it. And that gives you such a motivation. That gives you, I think it gives you like much better energy to put towards it. You have gratitude. You actually have gratitude. And gratitude is just like love. Love is the highest vibrational frequency. By loving something, you gain the most influence over it because you resonate with it. Gratitude is the same idea. Exactly the same concept. You're thankful for it. And gratitude is one of the greatest attitudes you can have. Talk about nurturing your soil, When you show gratitude, that's about as nurturing as it can get. And so when you have gratitude towards the test, when you have gratitude towards this thing that most people would be like, I'm so sorry to hear that happened to you. But you're ready to do it. You're ready to get through it. And in a way, you can feel good about yourself. Look how far you've gotten to have something, a test this difficult. When you got to get to a master's degree, how many tests, how hard were those tests, They weren't certainly not like first grade. And in a way, then, for me at least, when I see people whose lives are seemingly so simple, and maybe before you wanted to envy them, why can't my life be like that person? They don't have any problems. That's like, you're getting your master's degree. Do you want to go back to first grade? It might sound fun for a day, but you'd be bored out of your head. That person's in first grade, like, man, enjoy that. You know, it's going to get a little bit tougher, but for now, enjoy it while you can. Enjoy the sandbox, you know. Enjoy playing with the blocks. And do your best on those tests even then. And it's not like some superiority thing, because there's such a wide spectrum. You see other people and you're like, oh my God, how are they dealing with those tests? I couldn't imagine what to do with it. And they're smiling, you know. And we know people in both spectrums, you know. We're never like at one further end or the other. We're always somewhere in the middle. There's always people that have much harder tests than us, and there's people that have seemingly easier lives. But we can feel good about where we're at. It's not about how I compare to someone else. That's impossible. You can't compare yourself to someone else. Just like you can't compare a tree to a different tree. Like, everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be, and it has its own goals. If you want to measure something, measure what you're capable of against what you're achieving. But I think that those concepts especially have helped me throughout my life, you know, and they came from helping me through diets, and they came helping me to build relationships and a network of plant spirits to guide me and assist me as a healer, but it means so much more, and I hope that I'm conveying it. But no matter what test you're presented with, you can pass it. You can ace it. That's why you're being given that test. And if you do pass it, then you'll move up to another level. You will advance. You will become more of the person you're supposed to be. And that's, I think, why we're here. And I think that's why spirits come into bodies, so that we can advance through those tests. So that's what I've got to talk about on that one. I hope that was helpful for you. It's getting kind of cool. I like talking about this stuff. I hope that you like listening to it. I hope that you come back and listen to the next one. If you want to like and subscribe, awesome. Visit the website, ayahuascafoundation.org. Write a comment, share your thoughts, share your experiences. And if you want to write to me via the website, that's totally cool. I will definitely get back to you with any questions that you have, or if you're just curious about what we offer, feel free to contact me. Alright, you guys, thanks so much. I hope that you watch the next one. Bye-bye.